Yo, what is up, my fellow Epic gamers? Welcome back to another video, and today I'll be showing you how to 3D model a Dominus hat in Blender. Now, I'm making this video because, one, I can show you it's very simple how to make one. Two, I hope this message gets across to a lot of people uploading onto the UGC marketplace, because I see a lot of god-awful looking UGC items, including Dominus ripoffs. You shouldn't even be making ripoffs in the first place. So I'm going to show you how to make a proper one. And I'm not really the most experienced in Blender, but I'm just going to show you how easy it is. Okay, so first you're going to start off with your cube. You press Ctrl 2. And this should, you have to wait a little, load up a low poly sphere. There you go. Okay, so, and then what you're going to want to do is go into the wrench down here, and you're going to click Apply. So now you have a sphere. Delete one side, delete its faces, add modifier, add mirror, mirror it to the y-axis or the x-axis, depending on which side you delete. And then what you're going to want to do here is start forming your hood. So you might want to add in some more. You might want to add in some more squares to help you. I think this should be enough. Okay. So switch back to select mode. And then we're just gonna delete a few faces here to make the opening. And then now you're gonna wanna start reshaping the hole. So this, I could definitely press S and Y to scale it down like this. Then let me select a few edges. And you're going to want to flatten out the bottom as well. This bottom looks atrocious right now. Actually, instead, you could just delete the base. You can fill it in afterwards. That's also an option. You can delete the faces. You press delete, and then you click on faces. Press SX, maybe lower it a little bit. Over here, you're going to want to flatten this out. So I'm just going to do this. Okay, yeah, that's good enough for now. So we have to shape the back. and bring this part out a little bit. This part out. This, if you want to fill it in, you can. You just have to select all the edges around and just press F. That should fill it up. Okay, it still looks pretty bad. Okay. See, this part needs to be brought out a little bit more, I think. No, the hood part needs to be opened up a little more. Okay, I think a Dominus looks something like this. The backside needs more depth, obviously. You can bring this closer. SX. Oh, I forgot to select these. The back part looks a little bit flat, so I'm going to fix that up. Well, what we could do is just elongate this part. Don't worry about it looking really long right now, I'll fix that after. Bring these up to level. I think the bottom could definitely be a lot flatter. You might want to add a little bit of this to make it look like it's wrinkly. It's starting to look a little bit better, but we can definitely bring these faces in. Let's see what else. This part maybe a little bit out along with this one. things back, make it look like the opening. Let's see it when it's smoothened. I think this chin here can be reduced. Looks a bit better, a little bit more. And just reduce this entire thing over here. These sides up here can be flattened a little bit, make the hood less round. Maybe use the line tool for that. Like this. Looks a little bit better. Could be better though. Looks a bit closer. I'm going off no reference here, so it might look a little off. Definitely recommend a reference if you're modeling something. So let's see. Okay, this whole side can be flattened out. Shade smooth. I think that looks pretty close to a Dominus hood. For around 20 minutes of just editing and revamping, this is what I have concluded with. Could probably be a little bit more polished, but for the tutorial, I think this looks decent. Yeah, maybe I'll reshape the hood just a teeny tiny bit. It looks a little round. Yeah, okay. So this is what I'm gonna end off with. You might have a different one that looks, you might have one that looks slightly different than mine, but it's completely fine. Everyone has their own style. So now what you're gonna want to do is select all of the edges around the opening, press E, and then make it go inwards. I should probably have this flat. And you're going to want to go into this place here, up here, and you're going to want to click on, not statistics, face orientation. Red means the face is backwards, blue means the face is fine. So you're going to want blue faces. If not, you're going to want to flip them. And in here, what we're going to do is form the lip of the hood. So now you're going to want to press S, make it go in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the face orientation because you understand how it works. Connect these two back together. And connect these two back together. Press E again. extrude inwards, S, make it go outwards a little bit. Oh, here's a better view. Press S and then scale it bigger, so then it'll add in like a bigger area for the black mask. And once again, you're gonna want to fix up the center because it's mirrored. Okay, you're gonna press tab and select all the edges again. Press E, and we're gonna scale it again. And we're gonna close this in. Make sure that the edges are not overlapping and they're flush together. As you can see, this one's fine, but this one down here is a little bit inconsistent. You don't want these splits inside your 3D model. It's gonna look weird. What we're trying to do here is form the black mask part that's blocking the face or the head of the character. So you're going to want to make this as flat as possible. So this part looks a little bit awkward. You might want to move it a little bit. And then make this part inside as flat as possible. I think this should be okay. We'll edit it afterwards. So select all your edges again inside the hood and then just press F and that should close it. Now in here, you don't want this hood to look wavy and stuff on the inside, so you might want to play around with this part a little to get a nice flush shape. But for this tutorial, I think it should be fine if we shade smooth. Yeah, it looks just fine. So now we're going to make the buttons. We're going to want to insert a cylinder. Open up your statistics to make sure that you are not exceeding over 4,000 in triangles. We're at just under 1,000, so that should be fine. Press tab, select the top cylinder and scale it down. Select the whole thing, click S and then just scale it small. For this, you're also going to want to use the mirror and just do that. If you're having trouble here, I'll show you again. You're going to go into mirror and disable the X axis and enable the Y axis. You're going to want to rotate it like this. Click A and then R, tilt them a little bit, and these are going to act as like the buttons. You might want to shrink them and make them more far apart. So these will act as the buttons. I think they're a little bit small. You might want to make them slightly bigger. Okay, so now we're going to press E and then S and then make them go inwards. You can use the drag tool, make the button like indented a little bit. Press E again S inwards, and then this time make it go outwards. And I think that looks pretty good. You can smoothen it out. Actually, smoothing it doesn't look very good. You can auto smooth it, that looks fine. And now for the wings, you're going to want to use a cube, press SX, flatten the cube, and then SY, make the cube thin. Okay, I think that should be good. And now what you're going to want to do, press tab, use this loop cut thing. You're going to want to create a vertical loop cut like this, and a horizontal loop cut like this. You're going to want to select these two edges, pull them downwards, and select this loop cut all around. Pull this upwards. These two you're going to want to merge. Edges. Press M. You can do it at the center. Press M, do it at the center. Select the corners, the vertices, whatever. M, select, put it at center. Do it for every single one, or every single corner, except for the ones in the middle. Okay, there we go. Take these two vertices at the bottom and press SY. Bring them close together. Take these two, SY or SX, depending on which axes you are making this on. Okay, this part you can probably make it a little wider. You can do this to your preference, it doesn't really matter. And that's pretty much it for the wing. The wings are pretty simple. You're going to want to add a modifier and mirror this, because we are going to put it onto the hood itself. I don't know if this is completely in the center. Let's see. No, it's not. Mirror. Y-axis. Why is this not mirrored properly? You can always just use the point in the middle, that little orange point, put it in the center. Okay, finally, now it's symmetrical. Rotate them. Slant them a little bit. And you're going to want to play around with this a little bit, because these crystals, you're going to want to play around with these crystals a little bit because they're a little bit hard to fit, but I think this should be fine for now. Now press Shift D. This should duplicate the crystal, and then you can rotate it to your preference. I'm gonna make this one go out a little bit more, and then Shift D again. A Dominus has 4 feathers, so you're gonna want to do this one more time after this. And then Shift D again. Now these feathers look a little bit big for this hood. I might just scale the hood a little bit. and then shrink the feathers a little bit. Maybe hide the chin a little bit more at the bottom here, because it looks a little bit thick. Gonna want to play around with this, get rid of that. You can shade auto smooth. I mean, it doesn't look very good, but we're almost done. Okay, you could probably make this part over here extrude a little bit more. It looks a little flat from the front, so you could definitely do that. Bring this forward as well. You might want to bring this forward too. This part looks a little weird. Need to raise it up a little bit. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Definitely not the best. Usually I would 3D model, like spend hours revising, going through the 3D model, but this is just a little bit over 30 minutes of modeling, and this is what I came up with. Pretty quick. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to texture it. So I'll have that video linked below. But yeah, also one more thing, if you're gonna want to save this, you're gonna want to apply the modifiers. So then both sides you can edit. Select, well, you don't have to select everything and then combine them, but that's optional. Before combining everything, I highly recommend you to texture it. And when you're going to upload this as a UGC accessory, you're going to want to import a Roblox avatar mesh, and you're going to want to fit it on the head just to make it fitting on the UGC character, or fitting it on the Roblox character in Roblox Studio a little bit easier. So that's my character, and here's the hood. Let me just rotate this character by 90 degrees. There we go. As you can see, it doesn't completely fit, right? If you import this into Roblox Studio, this is not going to fit. You're going to want to scale this a little bit more. Bring it a little bit forward. Maybe squish it down a little bit. Let's see. And while it's on the head, you might want to edit any imperfections that's preventing it from fitting the avatar. But it looks alright for what it is. I want to push the feathers back a little bit and edit the buttons, make them a little thicker, I guess. And they still look a little bit small. I think I'm going to scale them a little bit more. The front looks flat now. Might want to make it a little bit round again. Looks a little bit better. Since I don't have the mirror modification on anymore, I'm going to have to edit both sides at once. Not the most ideal thing in the world, so if you still have the mirror thing on, it's better to use that. Yeah, that's simply how you make a Dominus, I guess. So in around 40 minutes, I got the 3D model of the Dominus done. Not the best looking one, but if you put more time into it, you can definitely get it to look a little bit better. Okay, one more thing. Sorry for the interruption, but there's one more thing that I would like to add on to this. You know how the hood is like very weirdly like modeled like this? Well, you can definitely smoothen this out. It's very easy. All you have to do is select this inside part that's supposed to be the black mask, separate it by selection, and then select this, hold shift, select both of these, and select join together. Now it's more evident that this is a separate piece. And also select this lip around the hood and separate by selection again. Once again, select this and the hood and join them back together, and now it looks a lot better. So yeah, I just wanted to add that in. But yeah, this is basically how I would make a Dominus. So like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and if you want more tutorials like this, I'll soon be making a Valkyrie helm tutorial, so that should be out maybe a few weeks. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care, everyone.